What's going on, everyone? Welcome to episode Hank Aaron 44 of the Potty Mouths podcast. This is your quick little Super Bowl preview, and we got to get into some NBA trades. An MLB free agent has finally found a landing spot. We'll get into all that, and then a couple of new big movie franchises have released trailers before the Super Bowl, so you don't have to be that person at the Super Bowl party who tells everyone shut up, I want to hear the commercials. So you don't be that person, weirdo. So yeah, the two trailers are out. We will get into those, but first, obviously, we'll address. I'm solo again. I thought I might have any this week. Hopefully on Tuesday. He's getting swamped, busy, can't blame him. So I'm riding solo again, but no worries. We have a lot to talk about, and when I talk about it, I'd like, maybe a comment, maybe a like, maybe a question. Do what you got to do to get more of us. Like, comment, share, subscribe, interact with us. You can find us on X, formerly Twitter, Blue Sky, Instagram, all there, posting stuff slowly but surely. And that's that. So, but first things first, we have the big game. I don't know if I'm allowed to say the duper doll. I don't know if I'm allowed to. Whatever. Rematch of a few years ago. It is Kansas City and Philadelphia down in New Orleans. So what do we have here? Let's get right to it. Points per game. Kansas City ranks 12th. Yards per game, they're 19th. They're not a good offense. Or maybe they're good. They're not very good. They do enough. Middle of the road, really, 12th, 19th. Passing yards per game, they're ranked 15th. Rushing yards per game for the Chiefs, 23rd. They have a good offensive line, and obviously, if you've watched Patrick Mahomes more than once, you know that he does a little scamper, and he can turn a little broken down play into a 15-yard run, and he just runs out of bounds, and he runs like he's frozen from the waist up, but he gets it done. His very funny running style. So you take the 12th most points per game for Kansas City, 19th in yards per game. What are they facing? A Philadelphia defense that is first in points per game allowed at 17.9. And the Eagles are first in yards per game allowed. Advantage, Philly, right? I also mentioned the passing yards per game was 15th, and rushing yards was 23rd for Kansas City. Flip that, Eagles defense, second in passing yards allowed. They have a great secondary. And rushing yards per game allowed, they're 8th. They're top 10. They are top 8 in all four defensive. The Eagles have a very, very stout defense. Fangs, who went Vic Fangio. Fangs, as they call him. He went from Miami up to Philly, and he's done great things with that defense, as you can see. And obviously, half that defense is from Georgia, so there should be no surprise that these kids know what the hell they're doing. Now, let's flip that. Let's talk about the Eagles' offense now. Points per game, they're 6th. At about 28.4. Yards per game, 7th. Obviously better than Kansas City's ranked. But passing yards per game, 31st. Jalen Hurts doesn't really do it out of the pocket. And he hasn't, if you've watched his stat line in this month of playoff football. So passing yards per game, 31st. But how do they make up for that? They're rushing for 186.6 yards a game, which is second in the NFL. Now let's look at Kansas City's defense, how they match up. So you have the Eagles 6th rank in points per game, points allowed per game. Kansas City's defense is 4th. So that's a top 6 matchup. Yards per game allowed, Kansas City's 10th. So that you have the 10th ranked yards per allowed in Kansas City's defense against the 7th ranked yards per game offense in Philadelphia. So listen, everything's saying, watch out for these Eagles. They are the real deal. Now, passing yards allowed per game, Kansas City's 19th. Even though they have very good defense, they make plays when they need to. Chris Jones is a beast on the D-line. Rush yards per game allowed, top 10 for Kansas City. They're 9th. They give up 106.7. Based on these statistics alone, and these rankings and everything, it looks like this could be Philly's year, right? Why wouldn't you think anything else based on these rankings? But then you look, and whose hands do you want the ball in? 2 minutes left. Do you want it in Jalen Hurts' hands? Or do you want it in Patrick Mahomes' hands? I mean, that's the question. You have the clutch factor. You have the proven champion winner DNA. And that's the big question here. Obviously, Saquon is an absolute monster. Will get MVP votes for sure. Could land himself a trophy in Offensive Player of the Year. We shall see. I think one of those should go to Burrow. I think the other should go to Lamar. And I think Jamar Chase should get a ton of votes for Offensive Player of the Year. We'll see how that all shakes. But if Saquon wins one of those, no problem here. I think Josh Allen kind of left a lot to be desired, and he's facing the Dolphins and Jets and the Patriots 6 times. But anyway, so one stat I did leave out, Nick Sirianni in Super Bowls leads the world in tears during the national anthem. So if you can find a prop bet on how many tears roll down Nick Sirianni's cheeks, not his face cheeks, not the back cheeks, front cheeks, not the back cheeks. Tears on back cheeks would be funny and weird. But yeah, I'm gonna go. Listen, I think Philly needs to go up first. I think Saquon or the tush push should get in the end zone first. I think that's the game plan. You go up 7, you go up 10-0, and you make Kansas City try and come back and win this game. I think it's imperative for the Eagles to score first, get a lead. Preferably 10-0, 13-0, 14-0. I don't know if that's possible, but I think that's their game. I think that has to be their game plan. Run. Tire out Kansas City's defense. Make Kansas City play catch up. I think the first to 10 points, maybe the first to 13, but I think first to 10 points, I think wins this Super Bowl. And it could be either team. Looking at those rankings like I just did, Philly's damn good. And you can also say, yeah, they had 6 games against their division. The Cowboys were competitive in most games. Giants, not so much. And then, obviously, Washington was damn good, damn fun, damn explosive in most of their games. And then the path here for each team, I mean, Houston was whatever. Buffalo was good. And then the Eagles let the Rams back into that game with that late drive where their defense just kind of played prevent, which was stupid, silly, because the Rams could have won that game late if Stafford was sharper. And then the Eagles took out the Commies and scored, 55 points? Jeez. So my head, I'm not going heart here. Going my head, my research, analytically, think you got to say the Eagles have a damn good shot here. But my wallet would go elsewhere. I don't know how you bet against Patrick Mahomes in big games. He's literally only lost to 2 quarterbacks ever in the playoffs. And one his last name is Burrow, and the other is Brady. So he's almost got a flawless record when it counts most. I don't know. It's crazy. Two good coaches. One obviously on his way to the Hall of Fame, and then you have Sirianni who turned this team around. A lot of media folk and Eagles fans on the social webs, they were down on Sirianni. They didn't like his play calling. They thought he was probably sticking his nose in too much and not letting their OC, whose name escapes me, he came from Dallas. Oh, I have his face in my head, but I can't think of his damn name. They thought that Nick Sirianni might be doing a little too much when it comes to play calling and fourth down decisions. So, but Kellen Moore, former NFL quarterback, I believe he played at Oregon, but I believe, or he was at Boise State. But anyway, he's done well. They just run the ball. Their offensive line's always been very good. So here's what I'm going to say. Everything tells you, statistically, the Eagles are going to win this game. But everything tells you visually, optically, that Patrick Mahomes doesn't lose these games. So take from that what you will. I would put my money on Kansas City. But I'm contradicting myself here because I'm laying out why Philly might be better. But I'm also playing the gut feel with Patrick Mahomes doesn't lose. So that's that. I don't have Vin here, but Vin did give his flush pick. We'll get into that. Flush pick will be only Super Bowl. And then my buddy, shout out to my buddy Adam Fontenot, my buddy from college, big Eagles fan. He mentioned that there's going to be no paint drama on this field when the last Super Bowl I believe the Eagles were slipping and sliding a little more than most. But we'll see. Should be a good time. Hopefully it's a good game, and I'll be pretty full of food and some alcohol. But yeah, it's good. It should be a good one. I think most of these Super Bowls, with this kind of little bye week before, gives teams to get a little healthier, and their scouts have more to do, and game plans are pretty well known by the opposition on most of these games. With that said, hurts his knees. Is it 100%? Who knows? But again, he's a gamer, and we'll see how that goes. But again, I'm laying out why Philly will win this game. They've just been better at certain things. But the boogeyman is Patrick Mahomes. It used to be Tom Brady. Now it's Patrick Mahomes. So all I want is a good game. I really don't mind who wins. It would be the three-peat. Don't sue me, Pat Riley. Three-peat for Kansas City. And then the Eagles will get their second Super Bowl ever. So enjoy that one if you're going to watch. I'm sure you're all going to watch. And Kendrick Lamar will be the halftime show, and I think he's bringing out my girl SZA, who I love. She's talented, and I think she's very, very attractive. So Super Bowl should be decent. I'm sure Lil Wayne might show up. It is in New Orleans. So keep your eyes out for that. And then big news week with the NBA trade deadline this week. My guy, my favorite NBA player since Michael Jordan. There's Derrick Rose too. But yeah, he's my favorite guy. Going, and it's Jimmy Butler. He got moved last night, so he got moved to Golden State when it broke down between Phoenix and Golden State. It looked like Durant might have been traded to Golden State, but Bradley Beal is one of two players in the NBA that has a no-trade clause, like full no-trade. It's LeBron James and Bradley Beal. I don't know why or how Bradley Beal gets this thing. Maybe he held up Washington for it, and that's how they got to keep him for a little bit. Bradley Beal just doesn't seem to be healthy or want to be healthy. I mean, I don't want to slander him or anything, but it's not working out. And I think he needs to find a place like Washington again where he could just make his money and hopefully play at an all-star level again, but it's just not working in Phoenix. But he's really holding him up, hence Phoenix looking to trade Durant. I don't think they want to, and obviously they didn't because the trade deadline is come and gone, but Durant ultimately said he didn't want to be back at Golden State. I think what he wanted was Jimmy Butler. He wanted Jimmy Butler in Phoenix to make a run with Booker. But that broke down, and the Warriors will send Andrew Wiggins and Kyle Anderson plus a top 10 protected 2025 first-round pick to Miami. And then Dennis Schroeder is going to the Jazz. Utah sends P.J. Tucker back to the Heat. He was there in 2021. And just smaller known players, lesser known players. Lindy Waters, the third, will go from Golden State to Detroit, and Josh Richardson will go from Miami to Detroit. So what people need to realize is in the two biggest trades of this deadline, Jimmy Butler and Luka, Danny Ainge is like reshaping how the NBA looks, because Danny Ainge was involved in both of those deals as the GM of the Jazz. So pretty interesting that Danny Ainge has his fingerprints on the new look West and maybe the end of this Heat run. Even though Wiggins is having a good year, Wiggins is a good player. He does a little bit of everything, but he's never been known to, there's no playoff Wiggins, even though he was very vital in Golden State beating the Celtics in that finals a few years ago. But Jimmy Butler has taken his game to the next level numerous times in the NBA playoffs. He's made the NBA finals pretty much by himself twice. So Wiggins doesn't have that. You need Hero and Bam if you're a Miami Heat fan to carry the load, and you just need Wiggins to be Wiggins and get his 20 points and get some assists and rebounds, steals. Good player, but he doesn't have that wow factor, that superstar factor that Jimmy has shown in the past. But won't get into the full trades, but there were more trades. Chris Middleton swapped pretty much for Kyle Kuzma. Kuzma, pretty good scorer when he has the ball. I don't think he's going to get the ball in Milwaukee. I think that's going to be a dud. Kuzma's one of those. He's like Fournier on the Magic. He had the ball, so he could score 30 points. And Fournier, you put him on the Knicks when they started getting better players. He's not a factor. He's not that good. He's not the guy with other guys on the team. So he's our guy, not the guy. And then Brandon Ingram goes to Toronto from the Pelicans, so they're starting to break that down. Zion stays down in New Orleans. And then Mark Williams, the big center from the Hornets, goes to the Lakers, and LeBron gets his center now. Decent player, Mark Williams. Doesn't have to do much when Luka is on that court. Just got to protect the rim, get some rebounds, right? But the interesting to me in that trade is Dalton Knecht, who I didn't think the Lakers wanted the deal. Thought they wanted to keep him and Reeves. But Dalton Knecht, the standout from Tennessee, goes to the Hornets back in that deal. So we'll see how that works out for all those teams. I'm sure I forgot a trade. Probably a lesser trade, but yeah, those are the trades we'll talk about. And then the big news in baseball. Yeah, baseball is still a thing. Pete Alonso agrees to a 2-year deal to return to the Mets. Now, there is a player opt-out, player option after 2025. He'll be making $30 million this year. Then it drops to 24 if he opts in 2026. So, what does this mean? It means that the Mets are very alive for Vladimir Guerrero. It means that Pete Alonso has to be a better player than he was in 2024. He has protection, and he will be protection. He has protection in Vientos. He has protection, and he is the protection for Soto. He's got to be close to, if not more than 40 home runs this year. He's got to cut that 220 batting average shit out. He's got to be better. He's got to earn his all-star nod if he's going to be an all-star again. Last year was kind of like, okay, should we take... Oh, Reed Garrett was pretty damn good. And then Lindor was god-awful for 6 weeks. And Nimmo was pretty bad for a month. But they're both hot now. Let's just take Pete. And I think they wanted Pete in the home run derby. I think that's why they ultimately gave him the all-star nod over Lindor and Nimmo. If you don't know, MLB, every team must have an all-star. So that's why you have the Pirates and the Reds in the ninth inning of that game, because the better known players who get voted in, they're going to start the game. But no disrespect to the Pirates and the Reds. It's just what it's been. So Pete Alonso, it's time to step up. It's time to earn your next contract. Hopefully it's not with the Mets. And I mean that. I don't know. I didn't need him back. I didn't mind some of the trade rumors. I think they're maneuvering to be able to really, really go aggressively after Vlad. I think they want Vlad. I think they see the value in that. And yeah, it's up to Pete to let the Mets know, like, I'm better than Vlad, which I don't believe he is, but for a season, see what you can do. You had your contract year last year. You were not good. You did play 4 home runs in the playoffs, which is good. Good. But ultimately, I don't remember 3 of those home runs, to be honest. So, we'll see. Obviously, I'd like the Mets to do well. I'm a Met fan. This is just a coincidence that I'm wearing my Mets shirt right now. That was not planned. I'm not corny like that. But we'll see how the Mets fare. The offense is good. If Pete's going to give you 30-something home runs, it's very good. You might get 40 home runs out of Soto. You never know. And I'd like to see Lindor cut down on the home runs and give me more doubles, give me higher average. That's what your best baseball would look like, in my opinion, if you're Francisco Lindor. But we'll see. They should be good. They should be very fun to watch. I'd love another arm in that rotation because there are some question marks there, but we'll see. So that's baseball. And then all I got left, I got 2 more things to talk about. One of is the flush picks, which we'll end with, and then we'll send you into the weekend, Super Bowl weekend. What I want to talk about is obviously Super Bowl for the non-football fans. People love the commercials. There hasn't been a good commercial in about 12 years, and unless you like the Dunkin' Donuts ones with Ben Affleck. Those aren't terrible. But really, it used to be like a what's up and all that stuff, and the brisk. It used to be a thing. It used to be a bigger thing. But now, thankfully, you can just go on YouTube the next day and watch all the ads. You don't have to be that annoying person at the Super Bowl party telling everyone to shut up. No one wants to watch commercials. That's why we stream people. So 2 trailers come out this week for that reason. They come out early, so you don't have to see them during the Super Bowl. And one was Jurassic World Rebirth. And it looks like more of the same, to be honest, if you watch it. But it is Scarlett Johansson and Mahershala Ali are the 2 biggest names. And they go to the island where they researched for the original Jurassic Park. So, whatever. Watch the trailer if you're interested. ScarJo looks great. But it's more of the same, more raptors, a T-Rex, and I think they're trying to do research and get like DNA from these things, and people. Dinosaurs aren't happy about it, so whatever. Chaos ensues. But those movies do well. People care about dinosaurs. I don't know why, but people care about dinos in 2025. There's other things to care about right now. But yeah, and the second movie, which I will definitely be seeing, I'm interested. It looks like they're finally going to get the Fantastic Four right after 3 previous renditions of it. But yeah, this looks good. Pedro Pascal, Eddie from, I forget his name in real life, Eddie from Stranger Things. The Thing is one of the cast members from The Bear. And then Vanessa Kirby plays Sue Storm. It looks good. Looks fun. It's like a 60s look in a different universe. Somehow they're going to get pulled into the Marvel universe and fight alongside, I'm sure, the Visions and the Captain Americas and all those fun MCU characters, Spider-Man and all that. So that should be good. And then Superman, the Superman trailer, the new one will be aired. I don't know if it came out. I don't think it's coming out early, meaning before Super Bowl Sunday. I think it's coming out during the Puppy Bowl, whenever the hell that is, wherever the hell that's aired. Kind of a interesting strategy by DC, Warner Brothers, to put something out during the Puppy Bowl. But it's kind of their thing now. It's kind of all eyes are on that, and you don't have to be distracted by other trailers, or like I said, if you're at a party, at a restaurant, a bar for the Super Bowl, chances are you're not going to hear or care. So they know what they're doing there. It's interesting, smart strategy. This is where we are. Come find us. Blah, 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 blah. Puppy Bowl. So whatever. So if you're in the movies, that should be fun. Those movies will start coming out this summer. The new summer blockbusters are huge IPs and successful franchise and all that. So we'll see. I look forward to all that. And then Kendrick Lamar will be halftime. Like I said, SZA and probably a couple more surprise guests. We'll see. Kendrick Lamar will be, as I said on Tuesday, just dominated the Grammys. And then last thing we have here is our Super Bowl flush picks. Vin and I are back picking games. Vin's going with Philly. +1 on Sunday, and I'm going with Kansas City. Like I said, my head, my analytical brain is saying that the Eagles might win this by, 3 or 7. But my wallet, I don't know how you bet against Patrick Mahomes. I just not yet. Maybe when he loses Kelsey or a couple linemen, or that defense starts to be, not top 10 ever. But he's still got Spags. He's still got Andy Reid. He's still got Kelsey. He's still got that offensive line. So I don't know. I think that's where if I make a bet, I think that's where my money is going to go on the 2-time defending Super Bowl champ. All right. Let's see if Sirianni cries. Let's see how many times they show Taylor Swift. Let's see. I know people want Drake to come out at the halftime. I'm good with that. And there's no way that's going to happen. But let's see how the halftime show goes. Let's see if there's any good commercials worth remembering in a couple of years. But enjoy the Super Bowl. Enjoy the Super Bowl. Have fun. Bet smart. And until Tuesday.